Morning friends, let's today learn about esophagus. Esophagus is a muscular tube start at the level of C6. In upper GI endoscope, distance is measured from upper incisor. There are four main constriction in esophagus. First constriction is at C6 level called as pharyngoesophageal junction. It is the narrowest portion of GIT. The second constriction is because of arc of aorta. The third constriction is because of left main stem bronchus, and third and fourth constriction when esophagus pierces diaphragm at T10. The distance between the upper incisor and the first constriction is 15 cm, and the distance between the second constriction and upper incisor is 25 cm and 40 cm for the fourth constriction. Diaphragmatic opening. There is mnemonic for diaphragmatic opening: I8 10x at 12. I8 means at level of T8 we have the opening of inferior vena cava and phrenic nerve. At T10 esophagus, vagus and left gastric artery enter. At T12 aorta, thoracic duct enter. If foreign body impacted at pharyngoesophageal junction, we have to endoscopically remove it because it is the narrowest portion of GIT. C6 is also most common site for iatrogenic perforation. Esophagus has segmental blood supply. Let's see its blood supply. The upper one third is supplied by inferior thyroid artery. The middle thoracic is by descending thoracic aorta and bronchial artery. The lower one third by left gastric artery. Veins. The upper one third is supplied by inferior thyroid vein, middle by azygous vein, and the lower one third by left gastric vein, also called as coronary vein, which drain to portal vein. Now, coronary vein drain to portal vein. It is the site of portosystemic shunt. Portal vein drain to liver. So, cancer in the lower portion can metastasize to liver. In esophagus, we have longitudinal lymphatic spread, which can give rise to skip metastasis or lesion. Now let's learn about the sphincter of esophagus. There are two sphincter, upper esophageal sphincter and the second one is the lower esophageal sphincter. Upper esophageal sphincter act as both anatomical and physiological entity. The lower esophageal sphincter act only as a physiological entity. Anatomical entity means area of narrowing and physiological entity means area of high pressure. Now let's learn about upper esophageal sphincter. The upper esophageal sphincter is made by two muscles. The oblique are thyropharyngeus muscle and the transverse one is cricopharyngeus muscle. There is a potential space between the two muscles and it is called as Killian's dehiscence, and which lead to Zenker diverticulum. The pressure in lower esophageal sphincter is 8 to 25 mmHg. Normally, LES is in a tonic state of contraction. As food bolus come, it relaxes. It allowed to go through it and then contract. When LES, if it relaxes too frequently, then it lead to GERD, and if it does not relaxes, then it lead to eclasia cardia. Other important point for esophagus. Esophagus lacks serosa and strongest layer of esophagus is submucosa. Now let's learn about the peristaltic movement in esophagus. There are mainly three peristalsis: the primary peristalsis, the secondary and tertiary peristalsis. Primary peristalsis occur when food enter esophagus. It is propulsive wave goes down. This pushes food down. Secondary peristalsis occur when if primary peristalsis is unable to push down, then secondary peristalsis wave push it down. It is a propulsive wave. Tertiary peristalsis occur when we eat food. It is generated in between meals. It is non-propulsive wave. Increased frequency of tertiary peristalsis seen in elderly patient called as press by esophagus. Now let's learn about congenital tracheoesophageal fistula and atresia. It is mainly of 5 types: type A, B, C, D and E. In type A, atresia type, esophagus is blind ending and no communication with trachea. In type B, proximal end communicate with trachea and distal end is a blind end. In type C, which is the most common type, the distal end communicate with trachea and the proximal end is a blind end. In D type, which is least common type, both the proximal and distal end communicate with trachea. And in E type, esophagus is patent but it has fistula communication with trachea. It is also called as H type. Now let's learn about the clinical feature of congenital tracheoesophageal fistula. It is associated with anemic mutation. Clinical features are respiratory distress. If esophagus is not patent, excessive dribbling of saliva occur. Coiling of orogastric tube occur. If we put the orogastric tube, it will coil. It will coil over here. Diagnosis is by contrast study. Ihexol is a better dye compared to Dinoxil. If esophagus is patent or distal and communicate with trachea, air will come out in stomach. This will visualize as fundal gas bubble. Okay. In next video, I will teach about investigation of choice and the management of congenital tracheoesophageal fistula. So friend, please subscribe my channel, and if you like this video, press the like button. Thank you.